We're starting this one off super strong by forgetting to hit the record button through the whole process. Welcome or welcome back to the channel for this week's new book releases, the ones coming out on January 13th. We will have timestamps per genre that we talk about as per usual. I hope you're going to love it and find something to pick up. You don't have to love it. I don't know why I said love it. In sci-fi, we have Detour by Jeff Brake and Rob Hart. This one might be the start of a series. Maybe. On Goodreads, it says number 1. Ryan Crane wasn't looking for trouble, just a cup of coffee, but when this cop spots a gunman emerging from an unmarked van, he leaps into action and unknowingly saves John Ward, a billionaire with presidential aspirations, from an assassination attempt. As thanks for Ryan's quick thinking, Ward offers him the chance of a lifetime to join a group of lucky civilians chosen to accompany 3 veteran astronauts on the first manned mission to Saturn's moon Titan. But as the ship is circling Titan, it's rocked by a series of unexplained explosions. The crew works together to get back on course, and they return to Earth as heroes. But something's not quite right when they return. It has been interesting so far. I have been able to start it. I think this will probably work better in the physical format because we do have the mixed media element. And so in ebook, it does, the transition between the types of things is a little, no, I mean, they're big. Like it puts it in heading font of who you're changing to characters to and where they are, what's going on. But I think it would look a little bit better probably in a physical. Heart Fantasy this week is also the start of a series, The City of Others by Jared Poon. In the sunny city of Singapore, the government takes care of everything, even the weird stuff. Benjamin Toe is a middle manager in the Division of Entangled Engagement of Unusual Stakeholders, DIOS, and his job is straightforward. Keep the supernatural inhabitants of Singapore happy and keep them out of sight. But when an entire housing estate glitches out of existence on what was meant to be a routine check-in, Ben has to scramble to keep things under control and stop the rest of the city from disappearing. He may not have the budget or the bandwidth, but he has the best, if highly irregular and supernaturally inclined, team to help him. This sounds cute. I don't know. Maybe it'll just be humorous and urban fantasy and not like cutesy. It definitely sounds humorous. Our Romantasies, and I'm sorry if this seems like I'm going fast, but like I said, I already recorded all of this. First up is Graceless Heart by Isabel Ibanez. Love is the most dangerous magic. As a sculptress, Ravina Mafi has always shaped beauty from stone, but she has a terrible secret. Desperate to save her brother, she enters a competition hosted by Florence's most feared immortal family, revealing a dark power in a city where magic is forbidden. Now, a captive in the cutthroat city of Florence, Ravina is forced into a dangerous task where failure meets certain death at the hands of Saturini de Luni, the immortal family's mesmerizing but merciless heir. But as he draws her closer, Ravina realizes that the truth there lies beyond Florence's walls. So we have historical fantasy romance. This is her adult debut, I believe, but her other YA series was pretty good. We liked it. Next up is another fantasy romance set in our world. I don't know the time period, though. The Book of Blood and Roses by Annie Summerlee. In the midst of the Scottish Highlands is a university where vampires study alongside humans. Rebecca Charity is a vampire hunter undercover at the university, searching for the mysterious Book of Blood and Roses, a lost compendium of ways to kill vampires. If she finds it, she'll be one step closer to avenging her parents who were slain by those creatures of the night. But when Rebecca arrives, she finds something unexpected, a coffin. Her new roommate is Elise Astra, scion of one of the most powerful vampire families, and the most beautiful woman Rebecca has ever met. So definitely going to give the enemies to lovers, maybe forbidden romance trope happening there. Then the conclusion to the Four Winds series, The East Wind by Alexandra Warwick. This 4-book series started with The North Wind. For 300 years, the land surrounding Edgewood has been encased in ice as the shade, a magical barrier that protects the townsfolk from the deadlands beyond, weakens. Only one thing can stop the shade's fall: the blood of a mortal woman bound in wedlock to the North Wind, a dangerous immortal whose heart is said to be as frigid as the lands he rules. And the time has come for him to choose a bride. So I don't know if each book is following a different couple or it's just one through storyline. Then we have A Vow and Vengeance by Jocelyn Rodriguez. Rune Riker has nothing left to lose. Everything's been stolen by the immortals. Her family, her home, her freedom. But she's done playing by their rules. Each year, humans are forced to journey into the immortal realms, But 21-year-old Rune orchestrates her own selection, determined to find her family and destroy anyone who stands in her way. Rune is used to doing whatever it takes to survive, and now she must endure the Forge, a cutthroat college for the immortal druid's elusive tarot magic. When Rune's magic reveals itself to be the rarest and most powerful, she must live with its only other wielder, Prince Draven. As arrogant as he is ruthlessly ambitious, he's the last person she can trust. This one sounds super intriguing. It's got those keywords that we love. For a regular romance, well, humorous kind of regular romance, A Killer Kind of Romance by Letizia Lorini. I'm very sorry. I'm probably sure I mispronounced both parts of that name. Scarlett Moore doesn't do romance. She's made a name for herself narrating gritty crime fiction on a local podcast. But when her boss hands her the reins to the network's romance show, Scarlett finds herself neck deep in swoony love stories on top of her usual murder plots. Then someone begins reenacting the chilling crimes she discusses on air, down to the last twisted detail. But the line between reality and fiction blurs even more when Raphael Gray, the brooding bad boy who disappeared 5 years ago, unexpectedly returns. Suddenly, her life reads like a romance novel, filled with every trope she used to mock, with Raphael playing the dangerously irresistible lead. With the cover, it sounds so fun. I don't know why I want to keep saying the word cute, but it sounds fun. It really does. So hopefully it plays out that way. Our fictions this week start with Is This a Cry for Help by Emily Austin, a coming of age finding yourself even though you're already an adult sort of novel. Darcy's life turned out better than she could have ever imagined. She is a librarian at the local branch, while her wife Joy runs a bookbinding service. Between the two of them, there is no more room on their shelves for the ample book collections, various knickknacks and baubles, and dried bouquets. Rounding out their ideal life is two cats and a sun-soaked house by the lake. But when Darcy receives the news that her ex-boyfriend Ben has passed away, she spirals into a pit of guilt and regret, resulting in a mental breakdown and medical leave from the library. Through the support of her community, colleagues, and the personal growth that results from examining her previous relationships, Darcy comes into her own agency and the truest vision of herself. So in this one also, as with the librarian, when she goes back after her little mental break, there's also the book banning aspect that's happening that probably very mirrors and talks about what was really been happening the past few years with the book bans. And hopefully it does it right and in a good way. We'll have to see. Then a historical fiction, The Last of Earth by Deepa Anaparna. 1869. Tibet is closed to Europeans, an infuriating obstruction for the rapidly expanding British Empire. In response, Britain begins training Indians permitted to cross borders that white men may not to undertake illicit, dangerous surveying expeditions into Tibet. Ballroom is one such surveyor spy, an Indian schoolteacher who, for several years, has worked for the British, often alongside his dearest friend, Guyan. But Guyan went missing on his last expedition and is rumored to be imprisoned within Tibet. So Ballroom is going to take on a more risky expedition with a British officer who is determined to map the whole course of one river to be able to find his friend and get his friend out of Tibet. And also they're going to come across someone who is a bit in disguise while they're there. It seems like it's following more Ballroom and that other person. Then a fiction suspense sort of novel, Woman Down by Colleen Hoover. Her words used to set the page on fire, but a viral backlash over her latest film adaptation forced Petra Rose to take a hiatus, resulting in missed deadlines and an overdue mortgage. Branded a fraud and fame-hungry opportunist, she learned the hard way what happens when the internet turns on you, and she's been uninspired to write ever since. Now, with her next great suspense novel outlined and savings nearly gone, she retreats to a secluded lakeside cabin, hoping to find inspiration. It's Petra's last-ditch attempt to save her career and herself. Then he shows up. He being a cop? I don't remember why he's coming to her, but she's using him for information and inspiration for her character. On to an actual thriller, Anatomy of an Alibi by Ashley Elston. Camille Bayless appears to have the picture-perfect life. She's married to hotshot lawyer Ben and is the daughter of a wealthy Louisiana family. Only nothing is as it seems. Camille believes Ben has been hiding dirty secrets for years, but she can't find proof because he tracks her every move. Aubrey Price has been haunted by a terrible night that changed her life a decade ago, and she's convinced Benjamin Bayless knows something about it. Living in a house full of criminals, Aubrey understands there's more than one way to get to the truth, and she may have found the best way in. And the women meet and hatch a plan, and I think there's some sort of swapping. Obviously, that's how the alibi is going to come about. We'll end the week with a horror, The Truth of Caracosa by Jacob Rowlandson. In 1984, exiled author Salvatore Arcimboldi accepts the help of a psychotherapist to write his new book. He hopes to transform his traumatic memories into literary genius, but the resulting book, The Truth of Caracosa, is pure evil. Horrified, Arcimboldi suppresses the book and wills all traces of it, his correspondence, and any copies to be destroyed. Told from the perspective of a madman obsessed with the truth of Caracosa and a ragtag group of friends, it becomes clear that this book is more than a book, and that it might be the answer to a bewildering set of questions. Like, why is a secret society called the Archive after all traces of the book? Why is it that any mentions of it causes mild hallucinations? Or, who is the Yellow King? Those are all the ones I have for you this week. If you know of any other ones, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. Hopefully, the second recording of this didn't go too fast. We'll find out in editing. I just hope you're having an excellent day. You'll subscribe if you haven't yet. You're finding something good to read, and then I will see you in the next one.